CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Miriam Valdez-Carletti.
Good evening. Some local businesses are concerned about how Alberta potentially leaving Canada could impact Edmonton's economy. They point to other referendums and exits that have not aged well and hope Alberta doesn't follow suit. CTV's Evan Kenny reports.
The Alberta separation push has been good for at least one local business. O Canada Gear says its sales are up.
Of course, there's Canada, and now there's been an influx of Alberta.
The movement is causing a surge at this store, but a scare for others.
The biggest thing I'm hearing is that this is a waste of time and it creates instability.
Mayor Andrew Knack says he's heard from a number of large and small-scale businesses. He says they are concerned about Edmonton's landscape if Alberta does separate from Canada.
It's no surprise to me that I've been already hearing from people who are questioning whether they should continue to invest in Alberta and specifically Edmonton.
A former Alberta economist now working in Montreal believes these businesses have reason to be concerned.
I've never really seen a successful exit or referendum that somehow makes businesses thrive afterward or the economy thrives afterward.
He points to Quebec's recession after its separation referendum in the 90s. He compares the long-term impact to a cruise ship changing course. In the short term, the impact may not be noticeable.
And by the time that you realize that, hey, something's not right here, it might be impossible to go back, much in the same way that once you start turning that cruise ship, it's kind of hard to put it back on the original trajectory.
Prime Minister Mark Carney also weighed in on the matter, pointing to his experience with Brexit.
I saw firsthand what happened in the United Kingdom when the view was vote for this, it'll be soft, and then we'll negotiate, etc. And they ended up, and they're still 10 years later trying to undo what people didn't think they were voting for.
Premier Danielle Smith says she agrees with the Prime Minister Alberta should remain in Canada, but adds that we should not dismiss the legitimate grievances of Albertans. Back at O Canada Gear, it's not looking too far into the future and is happy with the additional sales it's getting for now.
Show your pride in something, get out there and support Canada, support Alberta.
Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Prime Minister didn't hold back today when speaking about the referendum. Other leaders and politicians also weighed in. CTV's Rachel Aiello has more.
That is a very dangerous bluff.
A stark 6-word warning from Prime Minister Mark Carney for Alberta Premier Danielle Smith.
In these separation issues, it is often advanced that vote for this and it's a free option. Vote for this and we will strengthen our hand in a future negotiation. That is a very dangerous bluff.
Unprompted today, the Prime Minister drew on his experience as the Governor of the Bank of England during the Brexit crisis. Carney's words of caution about understanding the risk of using this referendum as a bargaining chip was met with pushback from Premier Smith, who has called it an exercise in democracy.
I'm just trying to get a gauge of where Albertans are at. I think that that's respectful of the process that 700,000 people went through in signing their petitions.
That sentiment echoed by the separatist Bloc Québécois.
It's still up to Albertans to decide, and definitely not to another government to decide on what if the question should have been asked in the first place.
Conservatives said Carney's comments do nothing to address Albertans' concerns.
He has no right to wag his finger. That makes it worse.
As her province contemplates whether to vote to remain or pursue a path towards independence, Smith also said today she'll keep working with Carney towards a stronger Alberta within a united Canada. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
A new Angus Reid poll shows 51% of Albertans surveyed find the referendum question confusing. The same survey found 61% of participants would vote to stay in Canada. 36% would vote to start the process of another separation referendum. The premiers of Alberta and BC say they're prepared to work together despite differences on pipelines in Alberta's referendum. Premiers from Western Canada and the Northern Territories are meeting in Kananaskis. Danielle Smith has accused David Eby of stoking separatist sentiments by holding up pipelines. Eby has said he fundamentally disagrees with Premier Smith's approach to the issue. These meetings are supposed to be about the economy, energy security, defense, and nation-building projects. Today, both said they will work on furthering the interests of Western Canada.
I think that there just needs to be self-reflection. You don't end up with a situation where 1 million or more Albertans have given up on the country overnight.
We all are united in a larger project, and we don't always get our way. I understand that. It doesn't mean that now is the time to break up the country.
The city is moving forward with a plan to demolish and replace two of Edmonton's oldest downtown bridges, the low-level and high-level. City staff say renewing the high-level bridge will be too expensive. As CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports, some councillors believe it's worth protecting.
I'm here in a state of shock.
To some Edmontonians, talk of demolishing the 113-year-old high-level bridge is unfathomable.
It is the bridge that helped physically and symbolically unite Edmonton and Strathcona into a single city in 1912.
Council has known the designated historic resource was due for an expensive facelift for years. It set aside $200 million for the work in 2022. Since then, engineers have determined it's in worse condition than expected.
$380 million. Potentially plus 50%, and that pretty much would just let you keep it as is without any type of modernization.
Staff say the historic low-level bridge is also at the end of its life. The northbound bridge was built in 1900. The southbound span was built in 1949. The plan will see a replacement low-level built, the newer span demolished, while the historic northbound bridge is converted for walking and cycling use. Administration says the old bridges will stay open while their replacements are built over the next 10 to 15 years.
I don't know where to begin.
Councillor Michael Jans believes there has to be another way, at least for the high level. He argues a pedestrian-focused vision could entice heritage or climate-friendly funding from the province or Ottawa.
Can you picture San Francisco without the Golden Gate Bridge? Can you picture Edmonton without the high-level bridge?
Staff say rehab can only go so far.
It will only buy us a period of time. After 25 years, renewal would be again required, and would we be able to complete that renewal? We don't know.
The mayor is choosing to look forward at the opportunity new bridges bring.
Any north-south connection has to have vehicle traffic, it has to have dedicated bus rapid transit, it has to have active transportation.
City planners now have the green light to begin planning and design work for the new bridges they estimate will cost $1.3 billion. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Edmonton police are investigating the death of a 3-year-old girl. EPSA officers were called Saturday night to help paramedics at an apartment near 91st Street and Jasper Avenue. Police say they were told a toddler was found dead inside a suite. Police say the circumstances surrounding the death are suspicious. The homicide unit has taken over the investigation. Morinville RCMP have charged a man from Edmonton with child luring and sexual interference after receiving a complaint involving a 15-year-old. Police say last fall, 34-year-old Jaswindra Nath allegedly used Snapchat to lure the teen. Police are releasing his picture because they believe there may be more victims. Police say Nath used aliases Yagnutton, and often goes by the name Jash. RCMP are asking anyone with information about potential victims to come forward. Travelers heading to the Edmonton International Airport can expect delays as construction begins on the airport's North Tower. The airport is encouraging passengers to arrive early, use the South Pedway when possible, and follow posted signage around the terminal. The project includes upgrades to elevators, interior spaces, and other infrastructures inside the 63,000 square foot tower. The North Tower first opened in 1963. It previously housed the airport's corporate offices and air traffic control tower. The airport says the redevelopment is part of long-term planning for future passenger and business growth in Edmonton. Alberta-born astronaut Josh Kutcherick is sharing details about his upcoming trip to space. Speaking at the University of Calgary, Kutcherick said he will leave Earth in September for the International Space Station. He will live and work on the ISS for 6 months. He says there will be a unique mission because of all the science he will have the chance to do. Many of the experiments are coming out of the UFC. Kutcherick says it's an honor to represent Canada in the space program.
Feels very humbling, makes you feel very, very lucky, very grateful. A lot of Canadian pride, I would say, as well, to see that Canada is one of still very few countries in the world that does it, that is invited to participate in long-duration missions like this to outer space.
Kutrick says from now until September, he will be spending a lot of time at SpaceX in Los Angeles, learning about the vehicle that will take him to and from space. This week, some of Canada's best and brightest teenagers are at the Edmonton Expo for the Canada-wide Science Fair. Grade 7 to 12 students from across Canada will be judged this week in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields. There are 9 challenge areas, including aerospace, agriculture, climate change, and environment. One student from Ontario is trying to find microplastics in bodies of water.
It then uses the holographic imaging to capture a number of 3D images of the microparticles that exist in the water itself. Those images are then analyzed by a custom algorithm and AI detection architecture.
These students are not limited by, oh, we've done this all before or whatever. They don't have those filters. They look at it with very fresh eyes and often bring really novel insights.
The science fair is open to the public Thursday and Friday this week. From sneezing to runny noses and itchy eyes, allergy season is well underway. A late start to spring means we're now in the thick of trees, grasses, and plants all blooming at the same time. Some people with seasonal allergies say this year seems worse. CTV's Nirman Issa reports.
I've got spring allergies, and when the pollen is floating around like this, it's not great.
For Maddie Fontaine, a trip to the dog park means her seasonal allergies could worsen.
It's just frustrating because you wake up and you've got a runny nose, you're sneezing all the time, and it just doesn't stop.
Fontaine isn't alone dealing with allergies.
It's coming fierce this year. Lots of people are coming with allergies, yeah.
Pharmacist Mohammed Al-Fashawi says he's seeing an uptick in the number of people looking for allergy relief.
The couple of days that we have like strong wind and, all of a sudden it's just pushing everything, the snow mold, the pollens all over the place.
According to a University of Alberta professor, the late start to the spring means trees, weeds, grass, and plants are blooming and pollinating at the same time. Low amounts of precipitation this month is also affecting pollen production. The pharmacist says some might confuse seasonal allergies with the spring cold.
So usually with the allergies, there is like watery, the secretions are like clear and there is no mucus in it, like it's not dark and like not sticky. We have to figure out if you have allergies, you can take over-the-shelf stuff.
He says there are prescription medications available. They could be pills, eye drops, or shots. It could cost $30 and up, less with insurance. Shots require a trip to the allergy clinic to figure out the best concoction before being administered by a pharmacist or doctor.
Injected in the skin, so you get used to the allergies, so your immune system doesn't respond as vigorous and as strong.
For Fontaine, she takes over-the-counter meds.
I just would love not to be taking that, but yeah, this time of year, it is what it is.
Resigned to the fact, for her, allergies go hand in hand with warmer weather. Nirman Issa, CTV News, Edmonton.
WWE is bringing its summer tour to Edmonton. The tour is coming to Rogers Place on August 22nd. It will feature star wrestlers including Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, and Jade Cargill. Tickets go on sale this Friday. Coming up next, the Pembina pipeline moving ahead close to Edmonton. And also just ahead, Enoch Cree Nation health projects nearing completion.
The point of this facility is not to pull the staff out of the public system, it's to complement the public system.
Good evening, folks. 27 degrees for a daytime high in Edmonton today. We'll be in the same ballpark tomorrow. In fact, for the next 4 days, should see daytime highs in the mid to maybe high 20s. It'll be a lot warmer in eastern Alberta than it will be across the west. In fact, we have heat warnings in effect for parts of eastern Alberta. We'll show you that and talk about some scattered showers and thunderstorms in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Two major health projects are nearing completion on Enoch Cree Nation, just west of Edmonton. CTV's Nicole Weisberg gives us a look at the progress and the expected benefits.
It's a medical facility like no other, obvious from the outside with a teepee-inspired foyer and historic images from Enoch Cree Nation. Inside, construction is full steam ahead, with about 80 workers on site daily.
Here on the first floor, there'll be a variety of services, pharmacy, diagnostic imaging.
And on the second floor, River Cree Weiss Surgical Care Plus. The chartered surgical facility will have 6 operating rooms. 3 will perform publicly funded surgeries, the other 3 private surgeries.
The point of this facility is not to pull the staff out of the public system, it's to complement the public system. So patients that are having surgery will then come in through this area.
Legally, Enoch Cree residents cannot jump the queue for publicly funded surgeries, but the nation says it can reinvest its revenues to provide private surgical care for its members.
Downstairs, there's a cultural room, which will be available to nation members if they want to use it either during their surgical stay or if their family members want to use it. All staff will be trained on cultural sensitivity, and it will be highlighted in their care delivery.
The nation is financing the project. Medical staff currently working at this Windermere clinic will eventually move in.
We're expecting to be open for the first patient beginning of October.
Deeper in Enoch, another health facility is nearing completion. This one, an addictions recovery center with 75 beds. 35 for women, 35 for men, and 5 detox.
When we look at other recovery communities and their programming, they have their reprogramming built around the Alberta recovery model, but ours is built around culture.
Tyler Morin with the Apiokamik Wellness Branch says that's important because some programs, such as AA, don't necessarily resonate with Indigenous peoples.
If you look at the AA model, it's about giving up your power to a higher power, where we already feel powerless because of colonization. We need to come back to our own roots.
At first, the facility will be operated by Edgewood Health Network, a third party, but the goal is for Enoch to eventually take it over.
I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be a major game changer. It's going to be amazing that we can help, hopefully 300 people a year. It's just the start. There's still so much more to be done.
Reporting from Enoch Cree Nation, Nicole Weisberg, CTV News.
Pembina Pipeline is going ahead with a new natural gas processing facility in Alberta. The Heartland extraction plant has an estimated cost of about $570 million and an anticipated start date in late 2029. After extraction, the ethane mix will be processed at Dow's Fort Saskatchewan facility and Pembina's Redwater complex. A new water supply outlook and reservoir levels in Alberta shows conditions are on track to be much better than last year. Thanks to heavy snow in the mountains, the Old Man Reservoir has a current capacity of 97%, about 30% higher than this time last year. The St. Mary Reservoir has an above normal capacity of 96%, while the Waterton Reservoir is 89% full. One exception is the Milk River, which is seeing some of the lowest flows on record. Lower elevations near Montana's Glacier National Park saw the lowest amounts of snow in the past 5 years, precipitation that the Milk River relies on. The snow that did fall melted a month early and soaked into the soil before reaching the river.
At this point, we're just hoping for some timely rains again. And this multi-year drought's got to break pretty soon. We really are, things might look good in other areas, but we're really starting to see a major challenge down our way.
Because of entitlements in the Canada-U.S. Boundary Waters Treaty, the water available can only be used by producers south of the river. Canadian irrigators will have to rely on rain. A black bear cub has been relocated after Fish and Wildlife officers tranquilized it in Canmore. RCMP say on Saturday the cub had an altercation with a mother elk. The elk chased the cub up a tree where it was tranquilized and relocated. RCMP say the cub may have attacked a baby elk. They don't know where their mother bear is. After the break, the international battle on the shuffle court taking place just outside our city.
We all love competition, but we all get along well.
Programming brought to you by Green Tree Outdoor Living, where your dream yard becomes a reality.
Welcome back. 12 degrees this morning, 4 degrees above average. Way above average this afternoon. 27 degrees, 8 degrees warmer than average. It's going to be in the 30s in eastern parts of the province and Saskatchewan. Here's what you have going on. Big upper ridge, mainly focused on Saskatchewan and eastern parts of Alberta. On the back edge of this, we're pretty close to the back edge. You're going to see occasionally a few showers and clouds rolling through, spit off by that big upper level low, which is going to drop off to the south. So let's leave the jet stream on here because you can see where the clouds and the best track of showers and thunderstorms is going to be tomorrow morning. Most, probably all of that stays west of Edmonton. There's a chance you might see a couple sprinkles in the city tomorrow morning. I think for the most part, though, just mostly cloudy here in the city, and then a mix of sun and cloud through tomorrow afternoon. It looks like we could see some isolated thunderstorms bubble up in parts of east central Alberta with some heat. Better chance for some showers, though, back further to the west and then tracking into northeastern Alberta. There's Wednesday morning. Again, mostly cloudy here in the city. Best chance for showers is going to be to the west, but maybe a scattered shower Wednesday morning. And then best chance for showers and thunderstorms Wednesday afternoon is off to the northeast. So there is a chance every single day this week for some showers and thunderstorms. It is not going to rain nonstop for 5 straight days, though. In fact, most of the next 5 days, it'll be dry. These will be pretty sporadic showers and thunderstorms. There was today. Watch this heat really start to build in here in the pink zone in through east central and southeastern Alberta over the course of the next couple of days. We're looking at some heat as well here in Edmonton, just not quite 30-something daytime highs like this pink zone. Morning lows in that area as well. This would be about as cool as it gets for the next several days. You'll be in the teens for morning lows over the next little while, mid to late this week. 7 degrees in Grand Prairie tomorrow morning. You're about 10 degrees cooler than eastern parts, closer to 20 in the west, closer to 30 for daytime highs in the east, Red Deer, and here in Edmonton, get to about 26, maybe even 27 for a daytime high. More mid-20s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Best chance for rain is going to be Saturday night and through the day Sunday. Prior to that, as we said, it's going to be pretty hit and miss. That is your forecast.
LEGO fans checked out hundreds of unique sets and builds in Edmonton over the weekend. This year's LEGO fan convention took place at the Alberta Aviation Museum. Northern Bricks had to move to a larger space because of the number of adults taking an interest in the hobby. One organizer brought her own Harry Potter creation that took 16 hours to build. She believes LEGO is growing in popularity because it appeals to all ages.
I mean, you can start as a little one with Duplo, and I'm going to advise people don't get rid of the Duplo because you can use that later when you're building your big sets to, as you get a little older, and even to those plus 100s now. So it's definitely meant to span the generations. And the really cool thing about that is as an adult, you can build with your kids, you can build with your seniors as well.
This was the convention's 3rd year in Edmonton. A battle is underway between Canada and the United States on the shuffleboard court. While the competition is fierce, the players hope the tournament will attract new players of all ages. CTV's Amanda Anderson has the story.
Vicky Seiler is focused as she slides her disc across the shuffleboard court, a game she's been playing for more than a decade.
I used to curl, and when we went south, I couldn't curl anymore. So to me, shuffle is similar to curling. I mean, not there, but you have to have your weight, you have to have strategy.
She's among the top players in Canada, facing off against the best from the U.S. at the inaugural Can-Am Shuffleboard Court Tournament.
This is the first tournament we've ever had of this way. It's actually 40 of the top American players playing 40 of the top Canadian players.
Canada has players from Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario, and BC. Wally Bent says there's a noticeable difference between the teams.
The U.S. team seems to have a lot of younger players. More of our teams are seniors.
They hope the tournament will attract new, younger players. Mark Bender, here from the Tampa, Florida area, says many bars in the U.S. offer shuffleboard courts.
We found a lot of the places where we'll have like night tournaments or night leagues. You can get much younger crowd. It's difficult during the weekdays to get the working crew in, but when we have league at night, it makes it a lot easier.
The stakes at this competition are high, with not only medals up for grabs, but bragging rights.
We all love competition, but we all get along well.
The big thing about this is the camaraderie that surround here, I've never heard so much laughter and voices talking and everything. It's just beautiful.
While the U.S. may have youth on its side, many will tell you Canada makes up in wisdom.
There's definitely some wisdom there, and the home court advantage, right? So these courts are a lot different than what we play on, especially in the bars. Sometimes those courts are a little bit slower. There's been beer spilled on the courts, and so it's a different game for sure.
Games will continue throughout the week, leading up to the finals on Friday.
Great shot.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Beaumont.
That's our show for this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good night.